What is going on, everyone? I'm back, and once again I'm going to be showing you Machina, but because of the amount of views I got yesterday for this deck profile, I am going to do a combo tutorial video, show you what the deck can and can't do, and as well as just a general rundown and explanation. Now, if any of you guys watched the deck profile yesterday, you'll understand that I was playing 3 copies of Supply Squad in the deck. This was a bad idea. I've swapped them out for 1 additional copy of Machina Cannon and 2 copies of Machina Soldier, which is something I'm testing at the moment. But we are getting Machina Metal Cruncher in Eternity Code, and hopefully I'll have an Eternity Code box opening for you guys within the next few weeks. For you to look forward to, and hopefully I'll be able to pack a copy or 2 of that guy. But without further ado, I'm just going to go over a relatively, simple way to get your boss monster. It involves having 3 cards in hand, 2 specific and 1 non-specific. So you start with Machina Redeployment, Scrap Recycler, and any other random card in your hand. So you want to normal summon your Scrap Recycler and use it to send Machina Citadel from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. Then you're going to use Redeployment to send a random card from your hand to search 2 Machina monsters. You're going to be searching Possess Storage and Irradiator. You're going to use Irradiator's effect to summon itself by discarding the Possess Storage. Then you're going to use Irradiator's effect destroying itself to bring back the Possess Storage. And then the Possess Storage will bring back the Irradiator. And then you can use the effect of Citadel if you want to bring it out onto the field, or you can bring it out after you go into Scrap Wyvern. It's entirely up to you, whichever fills your quota more easily. Okay, so this is something that you preferably want to do going second. You can use Irradiator and Recycler for a number of things. You can either use them both to go into, So you predominantly want to either use Recycle or Possess Storage to go into one of the Link 2s, but for this you want to keep your Earth machines on the field, so you're going to use Recycler and Possess Storage for Scrap Wyvern. You can use Scrap Wyvern's effect to bring back the Scrap Recycler and then destroy it, and then you can bring out another Scrap Recycler from your deck. This is where I'd rather be playing Scrap Golem, because it would just get you so much more advantage, but because I don't have access to that, you have to just, with the deck profile I've got, you just have to rely on Scrap Recycler. The reason why I say this is better going second is because then Wyvern can destroy one of your opponent's cards. But it's not all doom and gloom if you have to destroy one of your own cards, because if it's Machina Overdrive, you can destroy it and then you can reshuffle some of your dead cards back in. However, if you are able to pop one of your opponent's cards, you can just use your spare monsters to go into any other Link 2, such as Nightmare Phoenix or Cerberus. Use that effect to net you an additional card and a disruption, and then you can just send these guys off for Avramax, or any other strong Link monster of your choosing. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so that's pretty basic, right? So let's see what the deck can do on the play. This is going to be completely random, non-fixed, because we want to have a most accurate representation of what the deck can actually do when it's put on the spot. So let's try going first. We'll do 1 going first, 1 going second. So we've got Gear Frame, Air Raider, Recycler, Overdrive, and Possess Storage. This is a really nice hand. So what do we want to do first? So we don't really have access to our boss monster at the time being, but we do have the trap card that can help us do that. So instead of going for the Scrap Recycler play straight off the bat, we'll set our card in the back row, We'll set our overdrive in the back row, and then we'll try and make plays using our hand first. So we can discard our Machina Possess storage to summon Air Raider from the hand. And then what we can do is we can, okay, no. I think I've got a better idea. So we'll start with a gear frame, obviously. Sometimes you need to be able to get the card you want into your hand first before making other plays, which is a really annoying thing about this deck, because sometimes you're able to special summon before using up your normal summon, but sometimes you just can't, and it's really annoying when you have to do that. So we get a Radiator to hand, we discard the Possess storage, we summon it. Okay. We use the Irradiator to destroy gear frame, and then that will bring back Possess storage and the gear frame. Okay. We can use these two for Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget will allow us to get Recycler out of the hand, and Recycler will be able to dump See, if we want additional hand advantage, the best thing to do right now, because we have access to Citadel with our trap card, we're going first. Ideally, what we want in the graveyard is something that we can just use to put additional pressure on, right? So I'm thinking here, Recycler can shuffle 2 level 4 Earth Machines back into the deck to draw a card. So if we dump an additional copy of Gear Frame, we can use Scrap Recycler's effect to put 2 Gear Frames back into the deck, shuffle that proper, and then draw. Excellent top deck, if I might say so myself. We activate the redeployment, discarding the Air Raider to search any 2 Machina cards from our deck. Pretty fantastic if you ask me. So let's search out, yeah, why not? We'll search out Citadel, and we will search out, you can either search out Cannon or Air Raider. For the purpose of this, I'll just go with Cannon, because it's a level 8, you can easily just summon. You can discard the Citadel to bring out Cannon, and then you can use these 2 to go into Dingirsu, and then on your opponent's turn you can use Overdrive, summoning an interactive card out of your deck, such as Air Raider or Possess Storage if you want to get any of these graveyard based Machinas out. And then because a Earth Machine on your field was destroyed, i.e. Scrap Recycler. I mean, you can, in theory, if you want to keep the Scrap Recycler on field as an additional body, you can protect it with Dingirsu here. So you can detach a material to protect it if you want, but that won't get your Citadel out, because it needs to be destroyed first, okay? And then here you have an interaction. You get to basically swap out your machines on the field as a quick effect with Air Raider. You can destroy any monsters on your opponent's field as a quick effect with 3k or less attack. And you can stop Machina Citadel from destroying what it was planning on destroying by detaching a material from Dingirsu. That's how important this Renkate is in this deck. Also, in the next turn, you have the ability to banish Overdrive from the graveyard, to shuffle back any of these in your graveyard or any additional machines in your graveyard as well, to draw a card. So yeah, that's going first. That's what we can do on the play going first. Also, cards like IP Masquerena are really good to help you get some stronger link monsters out on your opponent's turn and disrupt them more. But in a way, going second, you want to be able to see how well you can break apart your opponent's resources. So good shuffle, cut the deck 4 ways. Let's see what we can do. So first is Citadel, Air Raider, Fortress, Possess Storage, another Air Raider, and Scrap Recycler. Okay. So, what's the best course of action here? I have an idea of what it can be. Now, Citadel's kind of a dead card in your hand, so you want to get it out as soon as possible. Ideally. So, summon Air Raider in defense, discard Citadel. Now we've got another dead Air Raider in hand. How are we going to get it out? Well, there's one of 2 ways you can do it. You can either keep it in there and use it as an additional card fodder, or you can do something a little bit more niche, which I think might prove dividends at the end of things. So what we can do is we can discard Air Raider to bring out Fortress. Using our normal summon, we use Scrap Recycler, and we're going to use the Scrap Recycler this time to send Machina Megaform to the graveyard. This will all start to make sense shortly. Now we can use Recycler and Fortress to link off into our copy of Scrap Wyvern. Okay, now because Machina Fortress left the field, it won't miss timing. Megaform will trigger in graveyard, banishing the Fortress to bring it out. You're then immediately going to want to overlay these guys into your Dingirsu and use Dingirsu's effect to remove 1 card from your opponent's side of the field. We're then going to use Wyvern's effect, bringing out the Recycler and then immediately destroying the Recycler to trigger Citadel in graveyard to come out. Then Wyvern's other effect will trigger, bring in another Recycler out of the deck, and then you can destroy 1 more card on your opponent's side of the field. That's any card. So this can help you get rid of back row if you want. Okay. So this is fairly similar to what we've been expecting normally. However, we can use Citadel to blow up your opponent's board, or if there's more back row, you can link these guys off. The Unicorn. Use Unicorn's effect to spin another card and then blow up more cards in your opponent's field with Machina Citadel right there. So yeah, so on board that damage is 3,000, 5,2, sorry. So it's a few hundred off of lethal, this. So this board isn't going to get you game. Now, occasionally there's going to be times where you can get more damage on board, but if you feel confident enough sticking with what you have here and waiting out a little bit longer, or maybe having the Scrap Recycler in attack position, this could potentially be lethal damage for you. So yeah, so that's just some of the plays we can make with Machina. I'm sorry if I dragged on a little bit, but I'm really enjoying this deck right now. It's very fun, very aggressive, and it can take a lot of people by surprise. I am looking to get to hollow this deck out a little bit, get ultra rare fortresses, cannons and megaforms, stuff like that. But thank you for watching this combo video. I know it's probably not the most exciting thing in the world, but just I've seen a lot of people opening and discussing the budget strategies with this deck, but I wanted to have a look and see exactly the kind of things that this deck can do when stretched out. If you want to put the most effort into this, I highly recommend trains, using the Super Express trains, urgent schedules. Infinitrack cards also help this deck quite a lot. Yeah, so that's that. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and again, thank you for the support on the last one, and hopefully I'll be getting a new deck profile to you guys sooner rather than later. Anyway, thank you very much, and that is Elle signing out.